to recognize special citizens in New Jersey who have turned a tragedy in their lives into something that can be productive and helpful for the rest of our citizens. These are the stories that you love to hear and to participate in when you're governor. That folks who have experienced something that no parent ever wants to experience, and that as a parent you can't even begin to contemplate how difficult what they've gone through had to have been. But to turn that around into something that doesn't overwhelm you with anger or bitterness, but turns you into wanting to turn into something that can be helpful and a blessing for people who might be in a similar circumstance, is really an example of what's best about the people of this state. Instead of giving up, they fight on. And that's the spirit that is really imbued in the people of this state. It's the thing that I've been talking to folks about for the last 2 years that I've had the platform to do it as a candidate and now as governor for the last almost year, is that when you get to really know the people of New Jersey, what you realize is that these are folks that will fight for the things that they believe in and will turn difficult, tragic, challenging situations into something that's good for their fellow citizens and good for their souls as well. And what's happened here is an absolutely perfect example of that. And so I want to thank the members of the legislature who sponsored the resolution for bringing this to us. And once the Lieutenant Governor and I saw that this was happening, this was something that we didn't want to just sign privately, but we wanted to make a public signing of, because of 2 reasons. One, we want to raise and continue to raise the awareness, which is the goal of everybody here in our administration, to participate and work with folks to raise awareness for this issue. But also, it's to commend those people who are great examples of what we want folks to be doing here in New Jersey. The First Lady this week launched her New Jersey Heroes program to recognize every month a different individual, otherwise anonymous hero in New Jersey, someone who does something really extraordinary. And when I was talking to Mary Pat about what I was doing, I was looking at my schedule last night and wanted to know what I was doing today, I said this is another great example of that. And so in a week when we begin to recognize New Jersey heroes, and at a time when we're all reflecting upon the blessings that we're given in life, the Lieutenant Governor and I both thought that this was an appropriate season and an appropriate week to be able to recognize the great work of this foundation and the real courage of these 2 parents who have turned tragedy into something that can be good and productive for other people who will be challenged in a similar way. So I want to thank them for being here, for their enormous courage, and to allow me to be a small part of it by using 5 pence to put my name at the bottom of that thing. It is something that now will be a permanent part of New Jersey, a permanent part of what we recognize from year to year, to make sure that the awareness of folks is lifted, and that those who are challenged by these awful circumstances can feel as if the people of their state are with them. And I think that can provide at least some small measure of comfort. It will not provide anywhere near the amount of comfort that folks really need and deserve in these circumstances, but it'll provide some small measure of it. So I want to thank you all for coming. I want you to have a good weekend, and we'll have a lot of work to do again next week. So everybody, rest up a little bit this weekend, take a deep breath. That's what I intend to do, and get my hair cut, as I told Joel yesterday. And then we'll get into back into work next week. We're going to have a little over a week left to go before the end of the session, and a lot of work still left to do. So for those of you who are here as members of our administration, take a deep breath. We've got hard work to do. For members of the press, I guarantee you I will keep you busy next week. And to Dean Towles, thank you very much.
Thank you
very much for being here. Appreciate it.
Absolutely.
Appreciate it very much. Thank you all. Have a good one.